So I have a special treat for you guys for today. So joining me on today's episode of Locked On Devils is Saroya Tinker. She appeared on the show a little over a year ago. She was my special guest for my 200th episode, and now she is back because ever since that episode has been published, Saroya has been taking off. She's done deals with Nike, Maverick Carter, EA Sports, you name it. She's really big in the PHF, and she's been doing big things, not only in their respective league, but also just trying to get her story out there. She's one of my inspirations as to why I like to share my story as well in terms of me just coming of age of being a hockey announcer, whatever the case might be. So it was great to have Saroya Tinker back to do this open hockey discussion as we talk about some of her ventures and how her career has been ever since she appeared on this show a little over a year ago. Obviously, the PHF continues to develop. Ever since that episode was published as well. They had a name change. I had a few Buffalo Buttes appear on this show as well, just because they came to my school for a scrimmage. I was a part of that broadcast. So wanted to bring back Saroya Tinker to do this episode. So lots to talk about in today's show. Buckle up.
You're Locked On Devils, your daily podcast on the New Jersey Devils. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hi, this is Bryce Salvador, and you're Locked On Devils with Trey Matthews.
Elliott scores! Oh, Stevens stepped up, nailed him. Brodor's got the puck. What a shot. The Devils win the Stanley Cup.
Alrighty now, what is up, New Jersey? Welcome back to the Locked On Devils podcast here on the Locked On Network. I'm your host, college hockey play-by-play announcer, also Devils writer for Pucks and Pitchforks, Trey Matthews. Joined alongside me. She's appeared on this show a little over a year ago. She currently plays in the PHF. She's been doing a lot of things for EA Sports, Nike, Mav Carter, you name it. Saroya Tinker. Saroya, how you doing? The legend is back on my show.
Good. Thank you. Thanks so much for having me back. I've been doing well.
Well, we got to get to some of your ventures. First and foremost, before we actually begin, So I think you're going to get a kick out of this. When I promoted the episode, someone from my school reached out to me saying that they love what you do because they told me that you're also an Alpha Phi. So
yes, I am an Alpha Phi.
Right, Alpha Phi. So quick, just real quick. Any advice to Phiers out there? Because I Alpha Phi is present on my campus. They seem to admire your stories. So any advice to any Alpha Phi girls out there?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just continue to build your network. I think as soon as I got involved with Alpha Phi, I had a lot of new friends. I think there's always new people to meet, especially even within your own sorority on campus. There's probably somebody you haven't met. So introduce yourself to everybody and build your network.
Good to hear. Now, let's talk about the PHF. Obviously, when we did our interview, it was a different name. Now it's called the Premier Hockey Federation. You guys got to deal with ESPN Plus. The Buffalo Buttes actually came to my school, and I was actually a part of the broadcast for that scrimmage between Adrian College and the association. So that was a really cool thing to have at our school. So ultimately, what was the season like for you? How did you feel about your performance? How did you feel about the new TV deals and all the ventures that happened throughout the league?
Yeah, I mean, a lot happened. So, I mean, my season with the Toronto Six was amazing. I don't think I've ever been part of a better team, culture-wise and even on the ice. We definitely didn't lose much. I think we lost when it was the important time, but at the same time, I think that gives us more motivation moving forward just because we are a young team. But my experience with the T6 has been impeccable so far. We've got great leadership. We've got a great group off ice that helps us. And I mean, the PHF is on the right track. We were able to up the salaries last season, and we were able to up them again for this upcoming season. So with that, I mean, we've got healthcare benefits, we've got TV deals, as you mentioned. So we're on the right track, and I mean, it's exciting, and I'm so happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, because just like a little over a year ago, it was exclusively aired on Twitch, I believe. And now you guys go from, I think you are still being shown on Twitch, but now you go from that to now ESPN Plus, which is, a huge step in the organization and just marching the game forward. And speaking of marching the game forward, I want to talk about some of your ventures. So if I recall correctly, you tweeted something out saying that you wanted to be the first Nike athlete to be associated with hockey, because I think it's safe to say that you're the first hockey player to have a deal with Nike, because I know in the NHL it's exclusively Adidas. So I'm just putting that out there. Just wanted to say. But before I ask you more about Nike, I just want to say bit of a sneakerhead myself. So
There you go.
Wore these at Winterfest.
Okay.
When Adrian College did the outdoor game.
True.
Then I'm not a hype beast, but got bait. Yes, babe. So and also love Kyrie and what he does. So SpongeBob edition. So bit of a sneakerhead myself. So when I saw the news that you got to deal with Nike and things of that nature, I was actually ecstatic because I remember you came on my show saying that you wanted to get a deal with Nike and it came into full fruition. So how did that go out?
Yeah, I mean, so they were looking for an individual to participate in their Black History Month project, and I was identified as a shareholder of progress, meaning that I'm involved in my community, I'm making change, and I'm a Black woman who's taking charge in my own community. So with that, I mean, they wanted me to be included in the project, and I found out that I was going to be able to design an Air Force One for the Future Movement project, and then moving forward, we have the Future Movement Joy Air Force One that I got to design with Nike. And yeah, it was a great experience. I love all the photos I've gotten from it. I love all the people I've been able to reach, the people that's been able to buy the shoe and show it around. And yeah, it was a great campaign, and I'm so happy to be able to be recognized as a shareholder of progress.
What went into designing your shoe? Like what inspirations came from? Because I just showed you some of the shoes that I shown, which is, some of the colorways tells a story. Some colorways have a background. It's a way for players or creators to just express themselves. So what went into the design for that specific shoe?
Yeah, so we were given a specific realm of textures and in the Nike ID setting. So we were able to pick what we wanted our Black History Month shoe to look like. So obviously for me, I wanted it to be black. But at the same time, I used a yellow undertone in the shoe to just shine light on the joy that Black people bring to the world. And I think that's really what I wanted to have in my shoe and show and have people wear on their feet. So it just represents all that Black joy is.
Don't worry, there's still more in store with our discussion with Saroya Tinker. But before we continue with today's episode, I want to give you guys the first live read this morning, and it comes from our friends at Built Bar. So from the people who invented healthy and tasty comes the latest gift for your taste buds. You've probably tried the amazing coconut brownie chunk Built Bar, but guess what? Your friends at Built have given coconut brownie chunk the Puffs treatment. That's right, the coconut brownie chunk Built Bar flavor you love in a delicious chewy marshmallow covered in 100% real chocolate. It's like a fluffy cloud of coconut brownie goodness. But don't stop drooling and listen. They are good for you, low calorie, low sugar, high protein, and they are all delicious. Coconut brownie chunk puffs are only here for a limited time, so go to built.com right now to make sure you don't miss out. They are going fast because they taste amazing, and it's a no-brainer. All Built Bars are covered in 100% real chocolate. Yes, I know I'm repeating myself, but that means what I'm saying is true. All Built Bars are made with collagen protein, which your body absorbs more efficiently and provides tons of health benefits. Eat something that tastes good and is good for you. The best part about Built Puffs is, of course, they taste amazing, but you can enjoy them guilt-free because they're good for you. They are actually the perfect treat, perfect when you're not got that craving and you've got to satisfy your sweet tooth, or if you're in need of a quick, healthy snack, and they are an excellent source of protein. So delicious coconut, rich, sweet brownie, creamy marshmallow. Stop fantasizing. Get to built.com to order your box of coconut brownie chunk Built Puffs right now. The offer is go to built.com, use promo code LOCKED15, and you'll get 15% off your order. Again, use promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com. And now the second live read comes from our friends at BetOnline. So BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs and sports info. Find all the latest sports developments, league reviews, including this year's NHL Stanley Cup playoffs and MLB season. BetOnline is your continued source for all your sport wagering information, including live betting, esports, and scores. And BetOnline.net remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. BetOnline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check on all your favorite sports and events, including MMA, boxing, and golf. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, where the game starts. Okay, let's get back to our discussion with Saroya Tinker. Take it away. Now, I got a question for you. I saw the shoes, and I absolutely love them. Any chance you could send me a pair? I don't know how often you get this question, but is there any chance you could send me a pair?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't think they're selling them anymore. And I think I picked up a few pairs for myself, but yeah, no, I think they're all sold out now. I'm sorry.
I should have bought them when I had the chance. But moving on to Nike, let's talk about Mav Carter. So LeBron James and Drake were obviously trying to do something with the sport of hockey. They were trying to like reach out to various amount of communities, and they did something called Black Ice. And obviously Mav Carter, who's associated with LeBron, had a lot of say in it. And I saw that you and him got a deal done. And yes, I did quote Drake a little bit, but so what was that deal like, just working with Maverick Carter and just being, a part of that movement that LeBron James, Drake, and others were just trying to do?
Yeah, so we're currently still working on the film. I'm going to be a piece of the film. I'm going to be in there somewhere. Not sure how they're gonna put me in there, but at the same time, I've been working with Vinay. I got to know Mav when he came to one of my shoots where we were shooting my Saroya Strong Girls. So we were on the ice, and Mav came out to say hello to all of them, which was really great. Definitely inspiring. And I mean, we're excited for the movie to come out. I think that it's going to showcase Black hockey history that a lot of people aren't aware of. And I really think that it's going to be important for a lot of people to watch. And I think it's going to be huge for the Black community in itself, just because obviously we're interested in hockey and we're involved, but I think this is going to make more young Black girls and boys want to play hockey and show that they do have role models to look up to. And I mean, obviously Spring Hill Company and Uninterrupted Canada, they're doing great things, and everything that's been put out, all of the shows they produce, the shop, obviously with Mav, all of it's great content. So I'm super excited to see the film. I'm excited to be a part of it. And I mean, I'm excited to educate people because I think that's really what the film is going to be able to do.
You talked about having role models, and before we did this recording, I told you that I actually know a couple people that you're associated with. So Iowa Dinier, aka African Hockey, went to Adrian College, won a national championship, had the honor to call a few of his games. Then you got Desmond, 3-year-old skater, obviously still a kid, just trying to form his own path. I had a chance to talk to his father, and he just said the key is just finding role models. And for me, my role model is my mentor out in Seattle, Everett Fitzhugh, who's the play-by-play announcer for the Seattle Kraken. He actually took me behind the scenes of the Red Wings and the Seattle Kraken game just to learn more about what it's like to be a broadcaster at the NHL level. Got to go to morning skate, got to do so many great things. And I personally don't consider myself as, I'm just a person who fell in love with hockey when I went to school. I was just someone who was just like so mesmerized by the game. And I get that maybe I was one of the few full-time Black play-by-play announcers, but you hit the nail on the head, which is the important thing is just finding role models and just finding that inspiration, getting out into the mainstream and just trying to, make it a little more normal. Because the one thing I like to say is that I am not a marketing tool. I am the real deal. I've been able to do a lot of things. You've been able to do a lot of great things yourself. So what's the key about just like reaching out to these communities and finding, these people who might idolize you from afar, or just trying to learn more about the sport of hockey and just saying like, there are people that look like you and, things of that nature?
Yeah, I think it's getting people involved. I mean, through my mentorship program, I'm hoping to just develop a huge network of Black women that play hockey. I think these girls know each other from across the country now, some in California, some in Toronto. And I think that the importance is showing that they do have representation in the sport and that there are little Black girls all around the world that love hockey, and not only that love the game, but play the game at a high level. So for someone like myself, I think it's important to use my platform and shine a light on myself and show them that they can be where I am at. They can play at a D1 college. They can play pro, they can play for their national team or whatever they may want to do. So seeing it is believing it. And I mean, I think that they are able to do that with role models and with mentees. I see them coming up through my program, 16 and 17-year-olds now going off to college, but now our younger girls are reaching out to them and not just me. So we're building a huge network, and the representation piece is such an imperative piece of it.
Now, let's talk about EA Sports, because you kind of did share your story through the video game, the Shell franchise. So I want to talk about like how did that come about, and was it pretty much what you just said now, just trying to inspire the community and just pay it forward in that sort of regards?
Yeah, I mean, working with Uninterrupted and EA Sports was super fun. I was able to tell my story. My girls were able to tell their story about being in the mentorship program, and breaking ice was really something that we needed to have, as we had an open dialogue, open conversation with all of the athletes that had a breaking ice piece at the end. So with that, I think that it was great to be able to share the story, but also able to create conversation and show that these conversations can carry on outside of the rink. And show that there are so many different aspects of hockey, and there's so many different people who want to be involved in the game. So with that, I think EA Sports really did a great job in helping me tell my story, and it was a huge accomplishment to be able to see my face in the video game. I know a lot of my friends were taking pictures and sending them to me, and my little brother plays NHL 22, so he had me up on his screen a few times. So yeah, it was a great experience, and I'm happy I got to be a part of it.
Are you hoping that someday you're going to be a playable character in the NHL video game franchise?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think I wonder what my rating would be. I think my shot would probably be the only thing that'd be high on there, but but yeah, I think it'd be awesome. It's definitely be a dream come true.
Also, I know what's her name, Sarah Nurse. I think she has a Barbie doll like after her. Are you
Yeah.
hoping to maybe go down that same road sometime in the future, or is that something in the works? Like, are you hoping that someday that we're gonna have a Saroya Tinker Barbie doll or something like that, similar to Sarah Nurse?
Yeah, I mean, I hope we continue on the right path and continue with the representation. I hope it's not me, actually. I hope it's one of my mentees. I hope it's one of the girls that is growing up playing the sport right now. I think I've gotten my attention worth, and in that sense, it's their time to shine. And that's really what I'm trying to make sure that they're allowed and able to do when they get to be my age, and get to do when they're in the pro sport. Because girls like myself, Sarah Nurse, and Michaela Grant Mantis are some of the first Black women to really be highlighted in the sport while we're still playing. So in that sense, I think it's amazing for these girls to be able to see us on the ice, see us playing, and see the love and passion that we have for the game to continue to play for them behind us.
Okay, so you recently graduated from Yale University, I heard, one of the most prestigious colleges in America. Obviously, you still play for the Toronto Six. My final question is what does the future hold for Saroya Tinker and the future of just trying to grow the game a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, continuing to play, I think, is a huge thing on my plate right now. Obviously, continuing to play and be that role model on the ice, but also be a role model off the ice, continuing to grow Black Girl Hockey Club in that space. And I don't know what the future holds. I mean, I studied science and medicine, so I definitely can go into that in the future. But at the same time, I'm also looking into sports broadcasting, and I do a lot of public speaking. So whatever comes my way, honestly. So I think new opportunities present themselves all the time, and the ones that are right for you will take you down the right path. So I'm just waiting for those right signs.
I'm sure my colleague Erica Ayala would love to have you join her in the broadcast booth one day. She's the host of Locked On Kraken. So, Saroya, you've done a lot of great things, from EA Sports to Nike, the Maverick Carter uninterrupted movie. So many great things of just growing the sport, not only for women, but people of color. Been an inspiration to me as well. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show, and just keep growing the game. And on my end, I will also do the same thing. And we just got to keep inspiring all sorts of people to just come together and just love this great sport of hockey.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on.